this level of thinking how can functions be joined together. So we've seen the ones that you'd use the product rule for. So if we had something like x squared plus 5x times sine x, you'd want to use the product rule because it's a big multiplication, two things multiplied together. You'd use the quotient rule if you had y equaled x squared plus 5x divided by sine x, big division. The other way of sticking things together is what we call a chain. So this would be the example of something like sine of x squared plus 5x. Okay? There's no multiplication in here, it's sine of x squared plus 5x. And this is, again, two different functions, and they're joined together in a chain. So you work out this thing first, and then you work out that answer to that. So it's kind of like a BEDMAS thing. You do the things in the brackets first, and then you do the sine of that thing. Different from here. Here you'd work out that bit, and sine x, and then you'd multiply the two together. So they're quite different. And we need a rule for doing this one as well. And this one, for some reason, we go away from U and V, and we use F and G. So this is an F and G question. And we need to think about what our two functions are. And we think about F of G is the way we talk about it. So in my head, I always think of outside and inside. It's really helpful. So F is the outside function, and G is the inside function. So we have F of G, or F operating on G, whichever way you like to think of it. And there's a rule on your formula sheet again. It says if y equals f of g of x, then y dash equals f dash of g times g dash. Okay, so that's what the function is telling us. So let's have a play and see if we can figure out how to do this. We could try again using the table and see how we go. So let's have a go at f and g. And I'm just going to be a little bit naughty, and I'm going to write f just as sine. And even though on your formula sheet it says sine x, I want to write it just as sine blank, okay? Because it's sine of something, which is actually g, but it's the sine bit we're interested in. And then g is going to be x squared plus 5x, and then we have to differentiate each of them. So when we differentiate sine, we get cos, okay? Because on the formula sheet it says sine x, so sine empty bracket, cos empty bracket. When we differentiate g, we get 2x plus 5. And hopefully the empty bracket here is going to give us a hint when it comes time to put them all together. So if we differentiate this thing, we just use our rules. So our rule says we want f dash. Well, f dash is cos bracket. So it's cos. And what's going to go inside the bracket? Well, the formula tells us what goes inside the bracket is g, which is this one, x squared plus 5x. And then the formula's got a times, so we've got to put the times in. And what are we timesing it by? We're timesing it by g dash of x, which is 2x plus 5. Done. Yeah, so the empty bracket thing, it just gives you an idea, helps you keep track of which thing goes inside and which thing stays on the outside. So really useful to think of it in terms of insides and outsides. So let's have a go at another one. Let's try y equals sine x all to the power, put a 2 out here as well. 2 lots of sine x to the power of 5. Okay, so we've got to say what's on the inside and what's on the outside. Remember, the inside is g and the outside is f. So if I was looking at this one, I'd be going, okay, what's on the inside, like sine x. And notice I've gone with sine x this time, It's not sine of a whole lot of stuff like it was here. It's just sine x. And what's on the outside is 2 to the power of 5. Yeah? And then we just differentiate our two things. When we do this, power comes down the front, power of 4. Differentiate a sine x, gives us a cos x. And then we stick things together using the formula. So dy by dx equals, what do we got? Well, f dash, here it goes, 10 something or other to the power of 4. And what's inside the brackets is g, which is just sine x. Times in the formula, g dash, which is cos x. Yeah. And that's all there is to the chain rule. Definitely helpful if you can think in terms of inside and outside. So whatever's on the inside is g, and whatever's on the outside is f. On the inside is g, outside it is f. And you can differentiate those two things independently and jam them back together using the formula. Okay, so for all of the product, the quotient, and the chain, it's a matter of firstly identifying which one it is, getting the two bits, differentiating them separately, sticking them back together according to the right formula. Product, quotient, and chain. And that's all the things you need to be able to differentiate for this course. So the things you can read just straight off your formula sheet, things joined together with pluses and minuses, and things joined together in these manner. And that's everything you have to be able to differentiate.